Friends, this week we turn our attention to the substance of compassion while dealing with the tensions, the paradoxes, and the dilemmas that go along with sentimentalism. Sentimentalism. What am I talking about? All of us have had that experience where we looked out beyond our lives and saw someone in pain or in need. That natural empathy or sympathy caused us to reach out and feel and be touched by their suffering. Now, there is a way to respond that is as authentic as a Matthew 25, you fed me, you visited me, you clothed me, you cared, you felt. And yet there is a twist on this that comes out of our own selves, our own cultures, our own securities, that I tend to call compassionism. It's that fast compassion caring. It's that put a Band-Aid on it and move on. I can't be bothered with the details of this situation. We either have that extreme sometimes where the pain of others paralyzes us, or we jump in whole hog and we are completely engulfed by the need and the suffering of others. You see, I try to keep this clear in my mind this way, that Jesus died, therefore I don't have to. And by that, I am suggesting that there's something in our own theologizing that may dispose us to either or of these extremes around our relationship to compassion. Either we have a strong soteriology, which means that saving is saving us too, and that there's a preposition between the love your neighbor and the love your neighbor as you love yourself dimension of the love God triangle. Or there are no bounds to that, and we have a pernicious faith that demands that we use every waking hour and every waking moment for others. It's that old Sunday school song, Jesus first, others second, and yourselves last, ourselves last. I think that's a malpractice suit waiting to happen. I believe that's a theological commitment that describes a weak creation, a weak soteriology, and therefore a weak incarnation. Either the work that he achieved his purposes, and we find ourselves working in rest with him, or something else is afoot. In the theological argument around human responsibility, often on the Arminian Wesleyan side of things, and God's sovereignty, often on the Reformed side of the discussion, that discussion sometimes gets all confused, and human responsibility becomes our only responsibility, so that every soul that will be saved will only be touched because of my human impulse to be out there saving them. Or we live in that tension that says, wheat and tares. Jesus said, I don't know how to sort out wheat and tares at this time. I'll take care of some of these things later at the judgment. But for now, God is moving. There's a John 15 invitation that says if we will rest in him and be in him, that he will take care of the bearing of much fruit. Sharing a nature, walking equally yoked with him, with the unhurried rhythms of grace, are our invitations in Matthew 11, verse 17. So, Jesus died, we don't have to. So I want you to look at compassion fatigue on one hand, and the fast compassionism that we see on the other hand, which gets us quite busy in other people's lives when they haven't invited us to be there. I look forward to talking with you about these dilemmas in the classroom.